When people think about automotive mechanics, they usually envision a glamorous, grimy, blue-collar profession. However, the upper end of the spectrum involves working on cars that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. My job has taken me around the world on some crazy adventures. I've been all over the US for training and trade shows. I've worked on a car for a prince in the Mideast and even met his pet cheetah at my hotel. I also ate pizza while training in Italy. Although this work requires a high-level skill set and quick thinking, it can be also quite lucrative for the technician. Hi, my name is OJ Lopez, and I work as the lead technician and owner of Fluid MotorUnion in Naperville. We specialize in European cars like BMW, Mercedes, as well as exotic cars like Ferrari, Lamborghini, and Porsche. With that being said, I get to work on drive some pretty cool cars every day. Not only do we repair these vehicles, but we also customize these cars and make parts like exhausts, lift kits, among other things. We do some things called engine tuning as well, where you use computers to talk to the brain of the ECU and optimize it for more power. You can make the car faster, more fuel efficient, and even fix some engines in remote tuning. Before I started my formal skills training, I was a very enthusiastic hobbyist enrolled in the University of Illinois at Chicago business program. It was there where I decided that I wanted to know more than just how to run my business. I also wanted to know what my employees would be working with. I decided that if I couldn't know the ins and outs of our product, how could I lead others to expect the same? I dropped out of UIC after 2 years and enrolled in a trade school. I will usually recommend that someone aspiring to become a technician attend a school like UTI or WyoTech. These schools are up to speed on the latest technology going into today's cars, and if you perform well, you'll have the opportunity to attend factory certified training course like BMW STEP or Audi Academy. This is a direct path to a very well-paying job at a franchise dealer. I knew from a somewhat early age that if I wanted to become an extremely skilled technician with the hopes of opening my own business, an obscene amount of time and effort would be needed to make that dream grow. As they say, the easiest way to climb a ladder is with your hands. If I were to live out my dream, I would need experience gained from actually working professionally on cars. I knew after graduation it was going to be do or die time. I did well, eventually becoming top of my class. This led to my acceptance in the BMW STEP OS specialty training program, where again I excelled. This then led to my job at the largest BMW dealership in Chicago. In just 1 year, I achieved Master Tech status, becoming the youngest Master Tech in the dealer's history. While I did great in the classroom, this learning did not prepare me for the ins and outs of the job, and when I finally became an automotive apprentice, there was a very sharp learning curve the first few months. Even some basic experience at an oil change or tire shop would have gone a long way to easing my beginner's pains. Trial by fire works though. My experience is why I would now suggest, if you are considering getting a working career with cars, to try at least getting some sort of job working with them for even a little while. Even if the pay is bare bones, it's still worth it, because the experience you'll gain will ensure you hit the ground running once you complete your formal training and enter the workforce. Imagine you love cars and tell yourself it's all you want to do for the rest of your life. Whether you're a kid fresh out of high school shop class trying to learn a bit more, or a graduate of a prestigious tech school looking to start your career, you'll be better off if you had some sort of job in a related field first. Unfortunately, entry-level positions are quite competitive in the industry of automotive services at the moment. Most of the jobs don't require a bunch of experience or high-level skill set to get you your foot in the door. Even if you have experience and some vocational training, it doesn't necessarily mean you won't end up as a porter or on the cleanup crew. I've known many technicians over the years, and almost everyone can recall how difficult it was to get a job. Even as a freshly graduated journeyman looking for a chance to work with cars, getting that first job where you want is tough. The industry is rather flexible when it comes to how you can enter the field. While it helps to have formal training from a well-known training institute, it's not the only way to enter. There are plenty of technicians out there that have learned the trade on their own. Some get lucky with the job at the right place initially, and their employer will see that they get the proper training. That's a very rare situation though. I landed a serious job making good money at one of the largest big-name dealerships in Chicago, and I would put my time in there before heading home. Home, in this regard, is actually the very beginnings of Fluid MotorUnion, where I would continue working in the name of my business. This initially just started with side jobs, working on my own cars, and cars of friends and family. After some time building my experience and knowledge, as well as building up the notoriety of my potential, I could see that my after-hours project could really grow into something serious. I continued pursuing this until I grew it into a full-fledged business, at which point I left Perillo and focused 100% of my efforts on FMU. With some hard work and dedication, fortune has found me on the flip side. I am now the one giving the jobs. Now that I know what it's like on both sides of the technician coin, I can confidently say not only what to do when trying to get a job, but also what the people who are hiring are looking for. Where do you start? You'll probably want to get a job at a local dealer or a well-known independent shop just to get your foot in the door. It's best if you show genuine passion, making sure to avoid the seeming fake. An easy way to do this is to only head to places that you'd actually want to work. List out where you want to work on a piece of paper and call around to find out who's the owner, who's the manager, who's in charge of hiring. Figure your way to touch base with as many of these people as possible. When it comes to passion, you really need to start off by asking yourself a question. How bad do you want the job? Is this really a passion of yours, or are you just working with cars because the rest of your career prospects didn't pan out? As an employer, I can smell the passion on an employee. I want to hire people who want to work for me. This is something that is best if it's not faked. Once hired, you'll figure out pretty quickly if this is the industry you want to work in. If you feel that you've made the right choice, then your next step is to start moving up quickly. Within the auto industry, especially among technicians, there's an unwritten rule of conduct. I affectionately refer to this as prison rules. It consists of finding the most valuable employee and going after them, in a sense. Find out everything you can about them and how they rose to the top. Then try to become indispensable to them personally, or more reliable and productive than they are. I think this tip and this mentality is something that many techs miss out on in informal academic education. So it's helpful when trying to get a jump start to follow these rules if you want to rise quickly. Now you may have heard of the term certified techs, master certified techs, ASE certified techs. There's a lot of certifications out there, and when you're looking into a career, it may seem like an overwhelming amount of certifications to have to get if you're going to stay in this industry. A shop that has their tech certified through ASE, and this is an example, this means that these techs have passed a written test on theory for one area of general mechanical repair. A large number of dealerships, as well as most independent repair shops, like to make a big deal about the certifications of their employees. There is a huge push in the industry to have certified mechanics simply because it lends credibility to the business that has certified mechanics compared to the shop that doesn't. There's one important part left out when it comes to these certifications. They really don't mean anything. It's nothing more than a sales point. The certifications aren't classes that teach you how to specifically fix the cars. They're only a test. Once the test is passed, the mechanic is certified. Almost anyone can be a certified master technician with 2 years of work or school experience. All you have to do is pass the test afterwards. What is more telling is the specific training courses the technician has taken, or rather than the test that they could pass. This is a better way to know if the mechanic has proficiently been certified in a vehicle or subsystem. When it comes down to ASE certification, it doesn't hurt, but it isn't the most important thing in the world. What looks best to me as an owner is looking for a skilled technician in factory certified training programs. What have they attended? What have they taken? This is obviously a case-by-case basis. There are plenty of techs out there with an extensive background that is just as qualified, if not more qualified, than a guy holding ASE certifications. An example of a training course I found to be useful is EFI University's program for engine tuning. I completed both their beginner and advanced levels. I've also trained with Haltech engine management systems. This has given me a strong foundation of knowledge in their standalone engine management systems, as well as information I can apply to other vehicles. I continue my education every day and read as much as possible so that I can be informed on all the makes and models out there as they come out. I want to be the best, and knowledge is what keeps me competitive. Currently, there is a large demand for sharp-minded and well-trained technicians in the automotive field. That means the right person, a lucrative career is possible with the right amount of determination. I myself have gone through the ranks of being a technician at a luxury car dealership, making six figures turning a wrench, and eventually leaving to start my own successful independent repair and performance facility that caters to luxury and exotic vehicles, all without a college degree. If you have any questions about a career as a mechanic, you can always reach out. Good luck, everybody.